We're still in habit energy, and I'm glad for that because when we first talked about this, the one thing I did think about from the beginning, from the absolute beginning with habit energy and with me and what I observe going on around me is consumerism. Before I jump into the consumerism, I'm going to talk about rushing and being quick and how that ties in with my idea of consumerism. Sometimes, and every year it's less, and I'm grateful for that, but I'll find myself in debates. And now there's a lot of debates online, but now that I listen to an expert on that sort of stuff say that most people are just looking to get some sort of fame, even if it's just just a couple likes, or get some sort of solace or revenge. Um, and having thought about that and decided that they're mostly correct, it's not something I want to really participate in too much unless I have the right motives. Um, when I think of one thing I think of when I think about consumerism is actually traffic, and I think about traffic a lot. I go, why do I think about traffic so much? And it's because it's often where my habit energy has arisen, and especially in the past, not so much now, but it still arises. I go, how does habit energy still arise with me when I'm driving? And I realize I hardly ever drive the speed limit. Now, I do wonder if driving the speed limit is safe in Spokane. If I start driving the speed limit, I might be a hazard, so I will probably do right breaking of the law. We'll call that the middle way for safety. But I don't need to go 45 in a 30 zone. I don't need to go 50 miles or more across Maple Street Bridge, which I've done before. I'm always speeding. And I found myself when it's time to make a left turn or to turn onto a road feeling legitimate anxiety because there's a couple cars I need to wait for and getting anxious like, oh no, they're in my way. I need to turn now. And this all strikes me as habit energy. Now, I don't go around giving people the bird anymore from my cars. In fact, the last few times I felt like that, I gave the peace symbol and like that. And I would say, may you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be safe and protected. May you live with ease. And I even changed it to we, realizing that I am suffering because I'm saying that because I'm having an angry reaction. I'll say, may we be happy and peaceful. But that rush is always there, that feeling of needing to get somewhere. I've even found myself sitting in meditation, like, wow, I finally get to meditate. And this is one of the thoughts that occurs, so I'm meditating. I've done that here too. If I'm honest, I'll be like, I'll be breathing. Wow, this is so peaceful, might be the thought. And the next thought, I go, I can't wait till this is over so I can resume thinking again, or so I can get back on a stream of thought, or because there's something in my head I want to contemplate, and this meditation's interrupting that. Habit energy, it's all coming from an unconscious place. When I feel anxiety because I need to wait for a few cars, or I feel anxiety because I'm not going to make the light before it turns red, or I feel anxiety because the car in front of me is going the speed limit, and I feel like we need to get to work in a hurry, even though I left in a time when I would get to work on time. That is habit energy. The desire to just rush. And lucidity, my conscious mind is crushed, it's squashed when I have these thoughts. So I am I'm very grateful for traffic because it teaches me a lot about myself. Um, why I bring consumerism. I was listening to a crash course talk. It's about 45 minutes long, and it's on cult language. Cult language. And I was really fascinated by it. And I love it because it was done by someone who is pretty intelligent and spent some time thinking about it and said, we are all use cult language and we are all prone to it. And I appreciated this because it wasn't taking sides. It was just looking at how the suffering of being caught in a certain mind trap or frame of thought is inherent to everyone, no matter their religion or their political affiliation. It is just something we have. And it hit me, it struck me how our language is tied with consumerism. And how our language is tied to cult like behavior, and how consumerism is cult like behavior. I enjoy media. I read lots of books. Those are the things with the least media, but I'll listen to podcasts. I'll watch television. I hear the radio. So I'm subjected to advertising constantly. And even though everyone says the advertising doesn't affect how they purchase, there's research that shows that advertising increases purchases, that it influences people. And it helps me to be aware that I am floating in a culture of consumerism. When I was a teacher at a Native American school, treatment center, it was Native American, I would do an activity and we would put up all these trees, right? And I go, hey, can we identify all these trees? We could identify a couple. We did pretty good with the ponderosa pine and the maple. And that's as a class. But out of the 30 trees that were shown, we didn't know most of them. I've also done it with birds, and it's the same story. Maybe we'll get a robin. We'll definitely get the goose and the duck. But we miss a lot of birds. And they're all local. They're all things that live here. Then I show logos from companies. And we don't miss any of them. Not a single one. We all recognize the A from Alphabet cereal. We all recognize the Nike symbol. We all recognize all of these symbols from all of these companies. And it reminds me that the nature that most of us live in now is a nature of consumerism. We are more aware of the Apple symbol I'm looking at right now across the room from me, of that Apple symbol, than we are what different varieties of apple trees. The problem with consumerism that I see, other than it's destroying the planet, is it fosters craving, it fosters greed, and a false sense of identity. In the 90s, I really wanted this cologne, Drakkar Noir. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. And I'd put that stuff on. I wouldn't paste it on. I wasn't that, but I'd want it and I'd wear it. And that was the thing to wear. And part of my identity was with wearing that cologne. Like, I'm sexy. I got the Drakkar Noir on, right? And it's not real. I totally bought into what I saw people around me doing and what I saw advertising doing. It's a kind of brainwashing. Consumerism convinces a lot of people and has convinced me often that owning things will bring me lasting happiness. Now, when I finally got that Subaru I wanted about 7, 8 years ago, I was really ecstatic about it for about a week. Bought it new carpets, did all this stuff. Now you go into the car, it's a mess. Um, I'm glad I have a car. I like my car a lot, but I don't get that same feeling. So the high I got from purchasing that car only lasted a little while, you know. It's a $30,000 hit. Luckily, it's still useful, and it'll be useful for a while. Whenever I buy anything, I will get that little ting, that little addictive pleasure, but it doesn't last. And it isn't me. I am not the things that I own. It goes beyond I'm not the body and I'm not the mind. I'm not the things that I own. There is stuff that I have in storage in my office that I have not seen for years. And at one time I was convinced I needed it. What's worse is when I look to get rid of stuff, I may have looked at it and said, no, I'm going to need this, and kept it there. So I am not the stuff that I own. Even when I think about, you know, all of the debates we have about economic systems now, capitalism, communism, socialism, I think all these systems have produced craving. All these systems have produced greed. And all these systems have produced a false sense of identity. And all these systems did their part in damaging the planet. What we need now is a new way of being. If we focus on being and simplicity, then we can begin to heal ourselves and the environment and the world around us. And it can be done. I'm going to end with a quote by the Dalai Lama, because he's very wise. I like the things he says. The planet does not need more successful people. What the planet needs is more peacemakers, healers, storytellers, and lovers of all kinds. This week, I want to just spend a few minutes doing the same chant I did last week, which was one day at a time, go slowly, breathe, and smile. And then to have a few minutes of silence after that. So you can follow along with me, or you can just be in silence. It's up to you, both online and here. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. Spend a few minutes just following your breath. You can repeat the chant in your head if you like, or if you're at home, out loud. It was wonderful to see everyone tonight. Um, so glad that I was able to listen and learn. I learned things from you guys that help me in my life and help me stay clean and improve my practice. So thank you so much for being my teacher. And um, let's go ahead and end with may we be happy and peaceful. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.